Welcome to helpingtesters.com. In this session, we're going to learn about various HTTP methods available, how these HTTP methods can be implemented, and how we can correlate them in terms of virtual user generator. So, on a high level, HTTP methods can be classified into these categories. The very first one is the GET method. GET method, it requests some information or some resources on the server. Let's take an example and look at some example on the GET. So here I just open up a browser, so I'm just requesting for a specific URL. So this URL is requesting some resources, nothing but a page from the server. So this would become a simple GET request. I will also show whether it is a GET request or not. Just if you are using the Chrome browser, open up the developer toolbars by pressing F12. It will open the developer toolbar and just reload the page, and it will show up what are the respective methods or what are the various methods. Whenever we're trying to call this method, call these URLs, those methods will be popped up. So I'm just refreshing the page. So if you look at, just let me open up the first URL. So if you look at here, it is showing it as request method as get. It is requesting for some information from the server, nothing but this is the page that we are requesting. Okay, this is an example for get. Now let's look at about post. Post, just we are trying to post some information to the server. Either that server may be using that information, or it would be processing that information. Okay, so the main difference between the get and post, so get is just we are requesting some page, whereas for the post we are sending some information to the server. Let's say, just as an example, if you are trying to log in on some page, so in that login page we will be sending your username and password to the server. So let's take and look an example on this. So here in this example, we are sending username and password to the server. So it would become a post. So let me click on login. So it will send this username and password to the server. So that server will process this username and password. Based on that, it will send the proper page. Let's look at. Okay, so I'm just clicking on it. So this is the post request. So here the request method says is as post. Let us look at what the information that we pass to the server. See here we are passing user information, username and password, like username equal to John Doe and the password. This is not a password. Okay, so like this, these were in post. We will be sending some extra information along with the requesting URL, so that server will take the whatever the parameters are from post that we are passing to the server, and it will process it further, and it will send back the right response based on the request processing. Now let us look at the other HTTP method, put. So here the simple definition for put is we are just trying to update some resource on the server, or in simple term, put is nothing but update. So we are trying to update some page or some content or some of the information on the server. So let's look at how this put works. Here I'm giving some simple example. Let's say on the server side you have the username and password. Let's say username is nothing but test user and the password are demo password. So let's look at, so whenever user sends a request with an update statement, so in the update we will be having the whatever the information that we want to update, we will be passing to the server. Let's say if you want to update the password, so we will be sending the updated passwords, and just by saying okay, I want to update this password, we will send all those information in the update request, and it will send back to the server. So server will update the respective resource. It may be the password, it may be some any resource on the server. So server will update that particular resource, and it will send back that information to the user. And the next HTTP method is options. So this is very rare options. 1 in 100 only we will get these kind of requests. So options is we are requesting the server, hey boss, can you tell me what are the various options that are available from you? Like let's say it may be server will be responding, boss, I have, my dear client, I have get, post, put, delete. It will list out all the available HTTP method types based on the option. So let's say we're trying to request for a particular resource. Okay, we don't know the what is the method for it. So if you request the server with option, so it will respond back you with appropriate method type. Let's say you don't know what is a get, whether it is a get method or post method for a particular request, so it will send back if you request using the option, so it will respond back you with, it may be get, or it may be post, it may be put, or it may be anything else. Okay, so it will respond back with the appropriate method information. And the next one we're going to see about delete. So delete is a very straight method, so we don't need to have much explanation for this. See, as this method says, we are requesting the server to delete some content on the server, or we are requesting the server kind of the delete operation or some kind of delete process on some of the server content. Let's say if you want to delete a username, or if you want to delete a user account, so that particular method type can be implemented using delete, and we will see that server responds back with appropriate right response, either account does not exist or account deleted kind of message will be getting back. And the next HTTP method is connect. So connect is nothing but it creates a tunnel to the whatever the request on the server. Nothing but it will create a tunnel to the server. Let's say we're trying to request for a page X on the server. So connect is used to create a tunnel between the client and the server for that particular page. So connect is a very rarely used, not even 0.1% in 100. So connect, we will not see much examples on this, so we don't need to worry about it. So majority of the times we will be looking at most of the requests are implemented around get, post and put HTTP methods. In some case we will see options, but ideally delete has to be implemented, but majority of the times all the delete operations can also be updated using either post or get. So this is all about the HTTP methods. So why we need to understand these HTTP methods while learning load runner? Because if you want to learn web HTTP HTML protocol in detail, and if you want to make a successful script out of it, understand what is a get, what it contains, and what is a post, what it contains, what is put, what is it contains, and the rest of the HTTP methods we don't need to worry about, because it is a very rare case that we see them, but these are the majority of the methods that we will find each and every script. So let's go and look at our script that we have recorded in our previous session. This is the script which we have recorded previously, just to show a basic recording how we need to do using the virtual user generator. So if you look at, there is some particular thing called method. So each and every method that you see in your script, everything, it may be either get or post. So as I just said, so this is simple get request, so it is requesting information for this page on the server. Okay, and let's take another example, post. Okay, so before getting into the post, so if you look at, everything is a get, so you don't see anything else other than get so far. But if you look at going forward, you will see some of the, let me scroll down here. So let's get into the post method. Okay, see, what I was explaining in post. So post will send some extra information to the user. It may be the user information or some other information. So we are sending, we are sending some information to the server to do something on the server. So server will receive these form post parameter. Normally we call them as a form post parameter. Server will receive these form post parameter, and it will process and it will respond either if these form post parameters are correct. So based on it will process and it will respond back with appropriate page. Either it may be successful login or it may be failure login. So if you look at the whole script from the top to bottom, you won't see anything else other than HTTP post and HTTP get. So everything will be get and post in your load runner scripts, and it's a very rare case that you will see sometimes options, nothing more than that. So if you clearly understand what is the get and post, you can easily customize your web HTTP script.